Published 0202 Est, the 23rd of November, the 2017. Updated 0326 Est, the 23rd of November 2017. Britain is facing rush hour hell this morning after 70 people were rescued from their homes following major flooding overnight as heavy rain caused widespread travel disruption. People were urged not to call emergency services unless there was a threat to life as crews continued to respond to a backlog of incidents, with about 1.7 inches (4.3 centimeters) of rain falling in 24 hours in parts of Lancashire. The county's police force said emergency services, the City Council and Environment Agency had received more than 500 flood-related calls and attended 100 incidents rescuing 70 people, 20 horses, a cat and a dog. In Cumbria, around half a month's rain, 3.5 inches (8.9 centimeters), was recorded in 36 hours at Shap. Rail operator Northern said flooding had stopped services between Lancaster and Morecambe, Carlisle, Oxenholme and Windermere. North Yorkshire Police said a number of vehicles had been recovered from floodwaters in the Yorkshire Dales as the A65 was closed, while a southbound stretch of the M6 in Cumbria was reduced to one lane this morning. A number of homes in Lancashire were evacuated after torrential rainfall caused flooding and major disruption overnight. Flooding in Llangefni, Anglesey, as heavy rain causes widespread flooding and travel disruption in North Wales today. Authorities in Lancashire responded to more than 500 calls related to flooding and attended more than 100 local incidents. The interior of a flooded home in Lancaster, after 70 people had to be rescued from their homes in the county overnight. Residents in the village of Appleby in Westmoreland, Cumbria, put up sandbags outside homes following heavy downpours in Cumbria. Around half a month's rain was recorded in 36 hours at Shap. Pictured River Eden bursts its banks in Appleby. Flood preparations were well underway in the village of Appleby, Cumbria, where the river was rising quickly overnight. Rail passengers wait at Preston Station in Lancashire as flooding stopped many train services in the northwest today. Vehicles drive through floodwater in Appleby in Westmoreland, Cumbria, after the River Eden burst its banks. Maggie Wild, of Galgate, Lancashire, whose cellar was flooded, told the BBC, "I came home and thought it is pretty high and it is still going to rain all night, so I better start moving stuff out of the way. It just came in faster and faster, and there came a point when we were bucketing it out and we had pumps going on it. It was bucket versus river and the river won, as well as the problems in northwest England and North Wales." The Met Office has forecast wintry showers will bring 0.7 inches to 2 inches (1.8 centimeters to 5 centimeters) of snow to many parts of Scotland and up to 7.9 inches (20 centimeters) on the highest ground. North of the border, snow was beginning to accumulate on high ground this morning, with 1.7 inches (4.3 centimeters) measured on Avermore and 1.2 inches (3 centimeters) in Altnahara. A yellow be aware weather warning for snow kicked in just after midnight for the Scottish Highlands, Western Isles, Grampian, Strathclyde and Central, Tayside and Fife regions. The warning, which covers the morning rush hour and is valid until 1 p.m. on Thursday, warns that some roads and railways are likely to be affected, with possible longer journey times for road, bus and train services. The Met Office has forecast up to 4 inches of rain until 9 a.m. today left and winds gusting at 70 miles per hour until 7 a.m. today right. The Met Office also had a rain for Northern Ireland left, while there is also a snow warning until 1 p.m. today right. The Environment Agency has issued 50 flood alerts across England and 24 more serious warnings, mostly in the northwest. Twitter users including Welsh First Minister Carwyn Jones tweeted about the flooding problems affecting Britain this morning. Meanwhile, a yellow weather warning of heavy rain was in force for southern Scotland, northern England and Wales until 9 a.m. today. Forecasters warn that spray and flooding on roads will make journey times longer. Strong winds were also forecast south of the border for the early hours of today. The top wind speed recorded yesterday was 84 miles per hour at Capel Cwreg northwest, followed by 66 miles per hour at Aberdaron. Met Office spokesman Nicola Maxey said snow is forecast for northern Scotland and this could potentially affect travel in the area. Outside that area, snow is not going to be an issue, it's more likely to be heavy rain. In the Highlands, rail passengers faced disruption after 3 landslips following heavy rain forced the cancellation of some services. Train services from Inverness to Caerlev and Wick were affected. The Environment Agency has issued 50 flood alerts across England and 24 more serious warnings, the latter of which are all in the northwest. In Scotland, there are also alerts for Dumfries and Galloway, and the Borders. In North Wales, the police and fire service appealed to people to only dial 999 in flooding if there was a risk to life. The Isle of Anglesey County Council said major flooding had hit Llangefni, where water was rushing down streets. Passengers wait for updates on the platform at Lancaster Station on the Virgin Trains West Coast Rail Line. Workmen move sandbags to protect buildings in Appleby and Westmoreland, Cumbria. Amid a severe flooding risk, people in Lancashire were urged not to call emergency services unless there was a threat to life. A petrol station faces flooding in Appleby in Westmoreland, Cumbria, today as the Met Office issued a series of warnings. An Italian restaurant does its best to keep out flooding with sandbags placed outside in Appleby, Cumbria. Scenes in flooding in Lancashire overnight as 70 people have been rescued from their homes amid the severe weather. Flood sirens echoed in Cumbria as the River Eden came close to bursting its banks following torrential downpours. Some residents in Cumbria built flood barriers to protect their homes from the heavy rains overnight, and Beaumaris rainwater caused the castle's moat to burst, flooding a street in the town centre. The council said the majority of the island's major roads were flooded at some point, including the A55 in both directions. Travel to Holyhead Port was severely disrupted. A major landslide completely closed a section of the A545 coastal road, and a lorry crash closed the A5 on the island. North Yorkshire Police said a number of vehicles had been recovered from floodwaters, and a stretch of the A65 south of Ingleton was closed, with considerable disruption expected in the area. 2 lanes of the southbound carriageway on the M6 were closed between junctions 35 and 36 in South Cumbria due to flooding and an overturned vehicle. A Lancashire Fire and Rescue Service spokesman said the majority of these incidents have not involved a life risk, but where there have been residents and animals at risk, our crews have attended and helped out. Some of the more serious incidents have included helping move vulnerable people out of their homes, moving animals that have been trapped, and pumping water out of houses where the flood water was affecting the electricity. High tides and strong winds gusting at up to 50 miles per hour bring large waves against the coast of Cleveleys in Lancashire yesterday. Motorists faced difficult conditions after flooding in Port Dundas, Glasgow, yesterday as heavy rain hits parts of Scotland. Heavy flooding is seen at Furness Abbey in Barrow-in-Furness yesterday as Cumbria faces 15 flood alerts and warnings. A lorry is toppled by high winds on the A628 Woodhead Pass, bringing the main Manchester to Sheffield Road to a standstill. A man walks along the Lancashire coast in Blackpool yesterday as the Met Office issues severe weather warnings for Britain. A caravan and a 4x4 overturn in strong winds on the A66 in Cumbria. The road has since closed to high-sided vehicles. A car has become stuck in floodwater under a railway bridge in Seaton, Cumbria, following heavy rain yesterday. ScotRail engineers were dealing with a landslip at Wick in the Highlands, with services unable to run to or from the station. A woman's hair is caught by the wind as she crosses Westminster Bridge yesterday afternoon. Lancashire Constabulary said a number of homes had been evacuated after heavy rainfall caused localised flooding and major disruption overnight. Lancaster and Galgate were the worst affected, with the A6 closed in both directions and 27 residents housed in 2 nearby pubs. A Lancashire Constabulary spokesman said all agencies worked really hard in a coordinated effort to minimise disruption and protect the public, and we will continue to support those communities worst affected. The focus is now firmly on supporting those communities which have been most affected. RAC spokesman Pete Williams said, "We are warning drivers across the UK that high winds will make conditions challenging." Blackpool North Shore in Lancashire was battered by strong waves as the Met Office issued severe weather warnings. Parts of Barrow-in-Furness, Cumbria, have been affected by flooding following heavy rainfall in the AREA. A landslip at Dingwall in the Scottish Highlands on Tuesday pictured has caused problems for ScotRail train passengers. People walked their dogs on the beach with fishermen standing landing on the harbour walls at Seaham in County Durham. Waves crash into the sea wall at Blackpool in Lancashire as the Met Office warned of winds gusting at up to 70 miles per hour. A woman plays with her dog on the beach in wintry conditions at Seaham in County Durham yesterday. Strong winds and large waves crash against the coast of Cleveleys, north of Blackpool in Lancashire. Traffic is blocked on the A628 between Manchester and Sheffield after a double-articulated lorry was toppled by high winds. A caravan and a 4x4 overturn in strong winds on the A66 in Cumbria yesterday as the region was hit by severe weather. The shoreline at Cleveleys on the Fylde coast of Lancashire is battered by strong waves amid severe weather conditions. A man and woman walk along the beach at Seaham in County Durham with their dog as others go beachcombing. Advice is for drivers to slow down and ensure they double the normal recommended 2-second distance between their car and the vehicle in front. Hold the steering wheel firmly and be prepared to be buffeted by gusts of wind. Drivers in Scotland who travel on roads on high ground and mountain passes should be prepared for snowy conditions. It's wise to pack a winter survival kit including a shovel, blanket, additional warm clothing, a torch, a flask with a warm drink, and ensure your mobile phone is charged, and consider letting your friends, family or colleagues know when you expect to arrive. It may be worth delaying your journey or taking an alternative route until conditions improve and the snowplows have made roads passable. Keep tuned to the weather and travel forecasts on local radio.